Mammography is one of the best screening tools to find breast cancer. Breast cancer may not be preventable, but you can survive it through early detection. If you're a mother or grandmother, sister or best friend,
aunt or cousin,
we encourage you to know your risk, make healthy lifestyle choices, and to know what's normal for your body.
get screened, get your mammogram annually.
We did!
Andre Rollins appears before the PLP's disciplinary committee. This as Renwood Wells defends his friend. Another man murdered in under 6 hours. Plus, it's the clash of the Junkanoo Titans. Those stories and a whole lot more on the way. I'm 22 and NB12 starts now. Topping news tonight, 3 weeks after he refused to apologize for his scathing attack on Prime Minister Perry Christie, Fort Charlotte MP Dr. Andre Rollins appeared before the Progressive Liberal Party's disciplinary committee last night for the first time. Former PLP Chairman Raynard Rigby, who is acting as Rollins' legal counsel, told NB12 only procedural issues were discussed last night, but noted it's a serious matter that will be addressed in a serious fashion. Two months ago, he declared the country needs new political leadership. Now, the leadership of the PLP will decide if Andre Rollins needs a new political home. The Fort Charlotte MP and his legal counsel were seen exiting PLP headquarters last night following an hour-long meeting with the disciplinary committee.
I'm a former chairman of the party, who would be very familiar with the process, and he sought my counsel on the matter because it is a very serious matter to be brought before the disciplinary committee as a sitting member of Parliament, and so he obviously wants to treat it with the seriousness in which is designed and intended by the party. Both Rigby and committee chair Valentine Grimes confirmed that no conclusions were reached in that meeting. Committee members will determine whether Rollins should face any disciplinary action for his sharp criticisms of Prime Minister Christie.
We could recommend reprimand, we could recommend suspension. The council could expel, but the council could only do so after it is ratified by convention. I think we're just trying to put this matter behind us.
Rollins has been a vocal critic of his party in recent months, criticizing Christie's love of quoting Bible scripture and blasting the government's hypocrisy on the gaming issue. Even after the PLP's National General Counsel urged him to apologize to Christie in the House of Assembly, Rollins refused to. The former gaming board chairman had no comment following last night's meeting. Mr. Rollins, what can you tell us about tonight's meeting?
Internal party matter. Internal party
What can you tell us?
Internal party.
Are you still a member of the party?
Internal.
And how do you feel coming out of the meeting tonight?
I don't have any comment to make.
Do you plan to meet with the committee again?
Good night.
Grimes says the committee will meet again tomorrow.
We are satisfied with the outcome of the meeting. We agreed to meet later this week, and hopefully we'll be able to finalize the matter. It is a very important matter for the party. The party will deliberate over the matter. The committee will do so and try to find the best solution in the interest of the party and the interest of all concerned.
Other members of the disciplinary committee are Charles Carter, Arrington Minky Isaacs, Aaron Sargent, Robin Lyons, Barbara Pierre, Michelle Reckley, and Tom Baston. While Grimes did not go into the details of the meeting, he shot down a suggestion made previously by Rollins that the party used younger candidates to win the 2012 general election.
I was younger than them when I came out of politics, having spent 15 years in politics. I went in when I was 28. So the party has always encouraged young candidates, young members of parliament, and we will continue to do so. I mean, I was younger than them when I came out after spending 15 years.
We also asked Grimes if the committee has encouraged Rollins to remain silent until this matter has been resolved.
I have not heard from him recently, have you? You haven't heard from him recently?
No, I haven't. But that's why.
Yes.
Well, Bamboo Town MP Renward Wells says if the PLP expels Rollins from the party for merely speaking his mind, he would go too. Wells indicated in an interview with the Nassau Guardian that he would not sit by and watch his friend be treated unfairly.
I've said privately to persons in the leadership of the Progressive Liberal Party that, if Andre Rollins was expelled for the party, that if he's just put out of the party for speaking his mind, then I don't think that's right. And I've said that that was the case, then I would go too.
Wells and Rollins were leaders of the now defunct National Development Party. Rollins recently defended Wells in Parliament over the letter of intent controversy.
I think every organization has a right to decide what it wants to do in terms of maintaining discipline. But the fact of the matter is one got to be careful about how one goes about executing such discipline. When it is not necessarily an infraction that rises to a certain level. Because a lot of folks out there didn't see it as an infraction. The Bahamian people had a particular view.
Wells says while he understands the need for party discipline, freedom of speech is at the heart of a vibrant and strong democracy. From the crime beat, Baintown residents clashed with police officers last night following a murder on Hospital Lane. As homicide detectives conducted their preliminary investigation, gunshots were fired and bottles were thrown on the crime scene. This latest killing comes just 5 hours after a man was gunned down outside his Merton Road home. Kyle Joaquin has the details.
You're supposed to protect people. Look at all these little children around here. You understand? So I say this doesn't make any sense.
Residents of Hospital Lane watched in horror as 21-year-old Eric Michael Martin took his last breath. According to Nassau Guardian records, he became the 94th murder victim of the year after he was gunned down around 8 p.m. yesterday. Head of the Central Detectives Unit, Superintendent Paul Roll.
What we do know in our preliminary stage is that this male was walking along Hospital Lane when persons in a red type Jeep pulled alongside him. One of the occupants produced a handgun and began discharging shots in his direction. He was struck multiple times.
Now, aside from the murder, residents say they are upset at the behavior of police officers.
What they did, they tell everybody to move. Doing a murder and family, you're not going to move easy like that. So when I looked, there was a whole bunch of the police. They just start firing lone shots. All I could hear was shots. So I said, it doesn't make any sense. We don't need to hear no more gunshots in our ears. It is enough.
She said those actions by police nearly started a riot as young men then began throwing bottles. Her nephew, 30-year-old Don Ramming, with his face battered and bloodied, said he was walking with his brother home when he was grabbed by police.
But they started running everyone home. They spanked countless shots. You see what they saying?
The police were firing shots.
What, they spanked more than 100 shots or more. You want to see all them on the corner in the road? You know what I'm saying? So some boys them must see just throwing balls around and thing, So that's how they started freaking out on people, pushing people, running people. So we started going, you know what I'm saying? So we end up but right up on y'all. The area with y'all. So we continue walking. Snatch me. Say, what you think of? Say, what you say? I said, man, I ain't no one to play around, my brother. You see us going. So they ain't no one to play around. Snatch me, lick me down on my face, start stomping me, hit me up in my face with the handcuff and the rock right there. And I said, try to break my hand and everything. I get all the scars, them reach up.
On the scene, people nearby could be heard asking, how do they expect us to trust them when this is how they treat us? We asked Superintendent Paul Roll about what happened. This was his response.
I have no knowledge of any riot in this area. And what you had is just a few loved ones who showed their affection.
Now, this killing came only 5 hours after another man was shot and killed through a corner just off Farrington Road. He has since been identified as 20-year-old Shaquan Stewart Ray, the son of Stephen Ray, who went missing at sea in 2009 but was never found. Active investigations are underway in both matters. Reporting for NB12, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
One day after a 37-year-old man was sentenced to 5 years in prison for raping a 6-year-old girl, the director of the Bahamas Crisis Center is speaking out on the matter and a recent spike in rapes. Simone Davis reports.
While she didn't provide statistics, president of the Bahamas Crisis Center, Dr. Sandra Patterson, says she has seen an increase in rape cases, and it is very concerning that police are now witnessing a similar trend.
It's very concerning, and when I think back in 2007 when the UN World Bank did a report on crime and violence in the Caribbean, and the Bahamas was right up there as #1 in terms of reported rapes per 100,000. And here we are 7, and we were raising a lot of noise about, we got to do something about this, this is not right. And here we are 7 years later, 2014, still having this same battle. And to hear that they suspect that at least some of the rapists are recidivists and have been in prison before, again, is really of great concern.
Dean Patterson says she believes most of the current sex offenders are repeat sex offenders.
We have the strictest penalty on our books. We have life imprisonment. If you rape, you can get up to life imprisonment. But we don't, those sentences are not given. But I think if you rape one time and you're out and you're raping again, when you go to court that second time, that should be it. Whether it's 50 years or 60 years or whatever you give, you should not be allowed to come back in our community again.
In recent reports, a man was sentenced to 5 years imprisonment for having sex with a 6-year-old girl back in June 2013. According to the report, he was also convicted for indecently assaulting a 13-year-old girl back in 2001. When asked her views on the matter, Dean Patterson said she thinks until the Bahamas has serious consequences for sexual assault, the country would continue to have this problem. She also said,
people rape with impunity. There are no consequences. And as long as there are no consequences for behavior, why should you stop?
Dean Patterson gave tips on how you can protect yourself and your child from becoming a victim of sexual assault.
Try not to walk by yourself, whether you're a male or female, whether you're an adult or a child, try not to walk by yourself. And certainly, we always tell children, do not take shortcuts. Do not, if you get left at school, make sure you walk on the main road. We say to parents, if you're going to send your children out in the night to pick up something from the store, even though the store is only around the corner, make sure they don't go by themselves.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Simone Davis.
When NB12 returns, what the Anglican bishop thinks of government's gaming plans, so stay tuned.